Morning. It is 8:02. I'm a couple of minutes late. I apologize. Just trying to put everything together. It's it's a lot. Had to send a push alert, get everything ready for the web. Now we are here for Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week in the mornings. We chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off with information and a smile on your face. At least that's my goal. Whether or not I hit that, well, is to be checked in with, we'll say. Here's a look at the top two things we're watching. It's getting hot out there. Good gravy. Yesterday was hot. Today hotter. Tomorrow hotter. Even hotter. You get the idea. That plus we are tracking the tropics. Yeah, believe it or not, today being the 15th of May, that means that the National Hurricane Center starts issuing their tropical weather outlooks. So we will discuss that and more on today's Coffee Talk. It is definitely getting into busy season here as we approach hurricanes. I feel like Coffee Talk is at its best during hurricane season just because this is where we can keep the hype down. This is where we can just discuss weather information and never, ever, ever have you scared. Okay, that's our goal. All right, outside this morning, some low cloudiness around as we peek in on our tower cam network. There's downtown Orlando. The 111 building in the foreground, I used to live there. I miss that view, but I kind of get to still get it from our tower cam shot. Beautiful weather, though, this morning. I do want to point out our first warning, live Doppler radar, is rain-free over top of most of central Florida. There are a few little showers. Let me take you here to northern Marion County, where up around Citra, Anthony, and Reddick, Fellowship, we're watching a few showers trying to crop up there. Let's head back to the wide perspective. Did have reports of a water spout off the shoreline of the Treasure Coast. This batch of thunderstorm activity that continues to move on out, that is the culprit. In terms of temperatures, you've got them on the bottom of your screen, but let's show it on the map too. Ocala waking up to 70 degrees. It's 75 in Leesburg, 74 in Orlando, 72 in Titusville, and 78 degrees in Melbourne. As we look to the forecast today, a few more thunderstorms in there today. 40% coverage of rain, and it's not just the afternoon. Notice this continues right through sunset tonight. So if you've got out and about plans, plan for the rains later on today. And that also means plan for good weather the first part of the day. Yeah, I like it. All right, let's see here. Janice, good morning. Easy like Sunday morning. Murray, good morning to you. Crystal, how are ya? Jeannie, good morning. Tiffany, good morning to you. Let's see here. Ryan says next weekend looks a little wet for camping. Yeah, maybe. Carrie's asking, did I miss the tropical update? Not at all. We're starting today. We're starting local, and then we're going to broaden out to check in on the tropics, okay? That I can promise you. Thunderstorms today, there will be some thunderstorms today. So let's talk about it. Let's use Futurecast and zero in on the storm timing, okay? Here we are this morning, and we're looking good. Through about noon, notice a few popcorn showers kind of trying to get going. Not too much, but a little bit of rainfall. That's when I would say you're going to start watching the radar by 1, 2, 3 o'clock. You can see the East Coast sea breeze and the West Coast sea breeze getting going. Nothing too bad, but just some stuff. Through 4, 5 o'clock, the sea breezes get closer. We see that collision around 6, 7 o'clock. That's when I think we're going to get some of the more intense thunderstorms around. And then through about 8, 9 o'clock, stormy weather through the metro area. Yeah, which, I wouldn't mind. My yard certainly could use some rainfall. Maybe yours could use some rainfall. Maybe you don't even live in the metro. Could be. And then by 10, 11, 12 o'clock, the rains are going to gradually fade and work off to the east. Now, I do want to point out, before we get into anything chaotic in the tropics and all that stuff, I do want to point out that there is an eclipse tonight. It is a lunar eclipse, and if this is new to you, it is a supermoon lunar eclipse. Starts at about 9:32 or so and ends at about 2:50. All right, it peaks at about midnight, give or take. So while the beginning may be a little bit rough, by about midnight on, I think we're going to be doing better and better and better, okay? So today, great day if you're wanting to get into the pool, If you're waiting for the tropics, I'm almost there, friends. If you're wanting to get into the pool today, we'll be watching the radar. Otherwise, it's a great pool day. If you're wanting to head to the area beaches, we'll run this one. If you're wanting to go to the area beaches, yeah, take a look. Surf running 1 to 2, seas 2 to 3. Things are calming down, and temperatures on the beach sand are looking outstanding. 70s to the lower 80s, it's great. But this week, we are really building in the heat. Look at these temperatures. 95 on Tuesday, 96 on Wednesday, 97 on Thursday. Serious, serious heat. Dangerous heat. Here's a look at Wednesday, just to illustrate, okay? Here's Wednesday afternoon. Look at those temperatures. At least the beaches are a little bit lower, right? 96 in Orlando, 94 in Claremont, 96 degrees in Wildwood and Leesburg, okay? That's Wednesday. Look at Thursday, neighborhood by neighborhood. 95 in Sanford, 96 in the Villages, 97 in Leesburg, 97 in Orlando. So yeah, it is going to be very hot this week. Very hot this week. So when you see on the bottom of the screen, Palm Coast, current temperature 69, forecast high 81. Granted, Palm Coast is one of the cooler spots. Ocala, forecast high 89. You're going to be getting into the 90s very quickly these next couple of days, okay? So just be ready for it. That's all. Just be ready for it. Man. Okay. All right. Shall we talk the tropics? Shall we talk tropics? If I can find the graphic. All right, this is the one. This is the one. All right, so today, the National Hurricane Center issued their first tropical weather outlook for 2022. They started doing it on May the 15th last year. They did not move hurricane season earlier officially, but they made the decision last year to start issuing their outlooks 15 days earlier on May the 15th, because we have found that so many years in a row we have had tropical systems in the month of May. All right, so their first tropical weather outlook today states that over the next 5 days, no tropical weather is expected. All right, and that's to a certain point correct. But I do want to take you to our computer models. All right, so here we are, just to put this all together. We'll start with this, and then we can dive in deep to the raw model data. But this is a computer model comparison. All right, on the left, you've got the European model. On the right, you've got the GFS model, okay? This is Tuesday, May the 17th, so a couple of days from now. What's happening is we get, especially early season, we get what's called a CAG low, or a Central American gyre. Basically, you've got monsoonal moisture and you've just got enough Coriolis that you can just spin with torque over land and water. That's essentially the idea. So both models show plenty of monsoonal moisture down there. But notice that box on the right, the GFS model. The GFS model is actually trying to develop an area of low pressure and lift it further and further to the north. There's Sunday, Monday, you can see, into Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the GFS model on the right, showing something of a developing storm system. Interestingly enough, the European could not be further from that. The European says, no, not happening. So a couple of things here, a couple of things that I want to make very clear. And I'm going to be posting these model comparisons for you, certainly, but they're not in unison. Okay, so the GFS has been consistently consistent about developing something. The European has been consistently consistent about not developing something. All right? Interesting, right? Interesting stuff. Now, let's take, that's the raw computer model data, but you know how I like to roll. I like to dive into the model data and I like to get into the raw data. So here we are. I want to get into raw model data. This is the GFS mean sea level pressure normalized anomaly, okay? So let's roll through the data here. High pressure. Wednesday, Thursday, just roll through. Look at the bottom of your screen, right where it says current temp 70. There's that little CAG low lifting to the north. That's 12Z Sunday, so you're looking at Sunday morning, so that's a week from today. The GFS says a week from today, you'll have a little bit of a storm system. All right, that's Tuesday we'll just round. We'll go Tuesday at 12Z. GFS says there's going to be something in the Gulf. The GFS is also going bonkers saying that it's going to be a big low. I don't believe that. I mean, it could happen. Like, stranger things have happened. You just don't see that in the month of May. The GFS is loving this idea, and I do think that it's picking up on vorticity, but I don't see this coming to fruition. I mean, a 968 low in the Gulf in May? I just don't see that, okay? So the model's showing this chaos, but it's going a little crazy here, okay? But let's just follow this through. Let's just follow this through. Oh, and then of course, what is that? That's a 968, 970 something low. Yeah. Curtis says, but the Euro model has been wrong over the last couple of years now with hurricanes. Well, sure, the GFS has also been wrong with hurricanes. One thing to note, the models have both been upgraded. We've not run a hurricane season with both of these versions of the models. That's number one. Good point though, Curtis. The other thing is, computer models are computers. They are stupid. They are stupid in the sense that they're putting out data, but there's biases to each model, and the GFS model seemingly is struggling with this seasonal transition from spring to summer, right? So I think that the GFS is a little bonkers on this, all right? But you know, we'll carry on, all right? And then it comes through Florida according to the GFS and it moves out. That's definitely carrying a floor-easter motion. It's a little late for the floor-easter, but it could be. It could be, right? All right. So Carolyn says you don't typically see inches of snow in mid-May in the Boston area, but it has happened. Sure. A major hurricane, though, in May has not happened. So, again, it could. We know that. But we need to look at this model with very, very, what's the term I'm looking for? We need to look at this model with very, help me, Bob, critiquing, like we need to look at some, are you there, Bob? He's not there. I'm talking to Bob. He's not even in the studio. What about Bob? What's the word I'm looking for? I need some coffee to wake up. We need to analyze it. We need to second guess it. We need to, you know, okay, so that's, again, GFS going bonkers, okay? Leery eyes, skeptical eyes, right? Thank you, guys and gals. That's what I'm looking for. Trepidation, thank you. See, y'all have had more coffee, and I know I was up earlier than you. Okay, so that's the GFS, okay? Let's back this up to where the CAG is in Central America, and let's switch over. That's hour 147. Let's switch over to the European. And let's go to hour 147. All right. It's showing moisture over Central America, but it's not showing any organization, and it's kind of blowing it off toward the west. Jaundice eye. That's just weird. All right, so you see the euro in no way, shape, or form, at least the operational euro, the deterministic euro is not showing it. Now, this is where we go and dive in depth. Yeah, you thought that we were going to go simple on you, right? Coffee Talk, we dive deep. All right, so computer model ensemble plots. Remember, when we talk about the European and the GFS, think of it as Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. They have their own flavors within, so the ensemble plots, take this with a grain of salt. Thank you, Mary. That's what I was looking for. So the ensemble plots give us kind of like 51 flavors of each model. So let's start with the GFS ensemble plots. And watch the Caribbean. All right, we're starting to see some model plots. You see all those little circles? That's meaning that there are many members that are showing areas of low pressure in that area. Okay? Now, we could go member by member if you really wanted to. I mean, we could go dive deep. I'm not going to do that, but you get the idea. Of all the member plots, there are members that are wanting to show lows forming. You can kind of see that cluster there, just off of our off of our west coast. So that's the GFS. Okay, that's the GFS ensembles. All right, let's back this up. And let's do the exact same thing, but let's look at the European ensembles. Notice the European ensembles are not, they're showing some lows, but notice they're kind of putting them over toward the Bay of Campeche and then over toward Mexico and Texas, and they're not really wanting to go bonkers. If we were to look at the kind of closed lows, you're not really seeing much. So the European is not on board, and as a matter of fact, the European is less on board with it now than it was yesterday or even this morning. Okay, so again, with all of that said, I come back to this graphic to say there probably will be an area of low pressure forming, but I do not think that it's going to be like the GFS. Like, if we just look at the GFS full screen, like it's a little terrifying, Just watch this animation. It's not pretty. It's not cool. It's not cool. Actually, we just got that new run, and it's kind of like wanting to bring it over Florida there. Yeah, you see it there? So anyway, long story long, don't believe computer models that are just raw without context. When can we start looking at the hurricane models, Carolyn's asking? Well, if an invest is dubbed, if there's an invest named, then we can look at that. All right, but for now, you're probably going to see some posts on social media. I'm going to be making some posts on social media, wanting to keep you up to date. But don't be concerned about anything yet. If the Euro and the GFS are together, that's a different story. Joanne, is the GFS getting better at predictions versus the Euro? They both got upgraded. They both got upgraded. So, I would just say that they're both going to be interesting to watch. Michelle says, so basically the GFS needs more coffee. It's delusional. It's on to something. I think that there's going to be an area of low pressure, but I think that you're going to find something in between where it's not as strong as the GFS and it's probably going to be a little nothing, hopefully. But this is the difficulty of meteorology, if I'm being honest with you. How much time? 4 minutes. This is the difficulty of meteorology, especially come hurricane season, which is why I love Coffee Talk, because we get to chat, we get to talk in a more long-form setting to keep you up to date. Now, I will say that the Florista part of the pattern is set for mid-May. So this may be a later version, mid to late May. This may be a later version of the Florista. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, right? But I just want to be very clear with you. Hurricane season is right around the corner, and there's a lot of places that have terrifying information. This is not one of them. I bust my tuchus to make sure to not give you hype. No hype here, people. I'll give you the information. We can chat. That's my goal. Okay? And if there is something tropical to be dubbed before hurricane season, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Remember, every year since 2015, we have seen something form prior to hurricane season. And there are 17 days officially until hurricane season. Super cool. All right, enough of that. Enough of that. We'll have full coverage. Don't you worry. I'll be posting and tweeting and Facebooking. And of course, we'll have coffee talk tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We'll dive deep into this as well. All right. For today, 92, 94 tomorrow, up to 97 on Thursday. That is disgusting. And then Friday, Saturday, maybe the rainy season's trying to kick in, which would allow those temperatures to come down as those storm chances come up. Will the eclipse affect tide levels? The full moon will, not the eclipse itself. How much time, Bob? 2.5. 2.5, thank you, sir. Yeah, so coastal flood advisories are posted. Erosion, coastal flooding, that whole thing, because of the astrological impacts, okay? All right. Jan, did you get a new suit? Looks very nice. Thank you, my dear. I did. I got a new suit yesterday and a new suit today. Yeah. All right. That's it. Looks like I have to go do TV now. Oh, well. Our time has come. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Follow the weather. I'll keep you up to date. All right? We'll talk much more about all of the new model data when I see you for Coffee Talk tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. All right? Go. Be one with your weekend. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.